My fiancé borrowed my truck for the weekend, saying, "Don't ask questions." I didn't. I checked the dash cam and caught her picking up her coworker at a hotel, so I destroyed both of their lives. Sup Reddit. So my fiancé borrowed my truck for a girls' trip and told me not to ask questions, so I didn't. I just checked the dash cam footage and watched her entire affair unfold in 4K with stereo sound. I, 33 male, have been engaged to Maris, 29 female, for 3 months. We were together 2 solid years before the engagement. We weren't the couple posting every moment online, but we had our rhythm. Saturday morning hikes followed by breakfast at the diner on 5th. Her grading papers while I prepped geology labs at the kitchen table. Planning a June wedding at the botanical gardens her grandmother recommended. She'd already picked bridesmaid dresses. I'd already asked my brother to be best man. We were building something real, or so I thought. Looking back now, the cracks were always there. Small things I'd dismissed. Patterns I'd ignored because I wanted to believe everything was fine. One day, I was grading geology labs when Maris walked in around 7. Research assistant at Westbrook University Observatory meant late hours and irregular schedules. She dropped her bag, grabbed water, and checked her phone twice in 10 seconds. "I need your truck this weekend." Looked up from a paper claiming tectonic plates move because of ocean currents. "Where are you headed?" "Girls' trip." "Nothing major." "Where exactly?" She opened the fridge, stared inside without grabbing anything, closed it. Classic avoidance. "Kelly's organizing something in the mountains." Kelly. Her grad school roommate who lived 4 hours north. Last time they hung out was at Kelly's engagement party 18 months ago. "You're driving 4 hours for a girls' weekend?" "It's 3 hours, maybe less. We need quality time. Been planning this for weeks." Funny. She'd never mentioned planning anything. "And you need my truck because?" "Mine's making that grinding noise again. Don't want it dying on some mountain road." The grinding noise she'd been ignoring for 4 months despite me offering 3 times to fix it. The grinding noise that existed as a convenient excuse whenever she needed something. "What mountain specifically?" "Some rental Kelly found. Near Pine Ridge, maybe." I set down my pen. "And you need my truck because yours might break down." "Exactly. Don't want that stress. It's supposed to be relaxing." Something felt off. Not obvious. Just this weird gut feeling. The vague responses. The way her eyes kept bouncing to her phone. "When are you leaving?" "Tomorrow morning. Probably 8. The engagement ring on her finger caught the light. White gold with a small diamond. We'd picked it out together 3 months ago. Back when I thought I knew who I was marrying. "Sure." Keys are on the hook. Her whole face changed. Tension melted away. "Really? Thank you. You're amazing." She kissed my cheek, grabbed her phone, disappeared into the bedroom. Shower started a minute later. I went back to the geology papers but couldn't focus. The way she'd asked. The way she'd said just 2 days like I wasn't supposed to question where my vehicle was going. That phrase had been popping up more lately. "Don't ask why I'm working late. Don't ask why I need Sunday afternoon. Don't ask why I changed my passcode. Just trust me." One name started appearing constantly about 9 months ago. Eamon. Eamon suggested this new data model. Eamon stayed late to help. Eamon brought coffee. Eamon understood the pressure. Eamon actually listened. At first, I didn't think much of it. Everyone has that one coworker who makes the job bearable. I'd met him once at the university's spring fundraiser. Eamon was there with his wife. Early 30s, maybe 6'3", runner's build, dressed sharp. Wedding ring. Confident handshake. Easy smile. He talked about his wife's veterinary practice. How she'd just opened her own clinic. How proud he was. How they'd bought a Victorian in Riverside and were renovating it. How they were talking about starting a family. Thinking back, I could see how it lined up. His name kept coming up more. Her expression would change when she mentioned him. She checked her phone constantly and smiled at messages she wouldn't show me. I'd written it off as work stress. My instincts were dead on the whole time. My truck had a dash cam system. Front, rear, and interior cameras with audio and GPS tracking. Cloud storage that uploaded automatically at Wi-Fi hotspots. I'd installed it 9 months ago after a hit and run. Cost me $580, but worth it. The footage uploaded automatically whenever the truck connected to Wi-Fi. Gas stations, coffee shops, rest stops. My phone could access everything through an app. I told myself I was being paranoid. That checking made me the villain. That relationships require trust. But I opened the app anyway. Friday morning she packed light. Weekend bag, nicer clothes than usual, full makeup kit. Out the door by 8 with my keys, travel mug, and a quick kiss. "Drive safe." "I will. Love you." "Love you too." I watched from the window as she backed out. Then I opened my laptop. First upload came from a gas station near the downtown exit. Timestamp 8:47 a.m. Just her filling up. I closed the laptop, went for a run. 6 miles. Came back, showered, made breakfast. Told myself to stop being crazy. But I checked again around noon. The next upload destroyed everything. The Riverside Hotel, downtown, not heading north toward any mountains. About 15 minutes from our apartment. Timestamp 10:38 a.m. The front camera showed Maris pulling into the parking garage. Level 2. She found a spot, put the truck in park, checked her phone, reapplied lipstick using the rear view, adjusted her hair. She was waiting for someone. At 10:47, a man walked out of the stairwell. Rolling suitcase, button down and khakis, wedding ring visible. Eamon. He opened the passenger door, tossed his suitcase in back, settled in. Then he leaned over and kissed her. Not a friendly greeting, a real kiss. The kind reserved for people you're sleeping with. The audio kicked in crystal clear. Sorry, checkout took forever. The front desk was understaffed. It's fine. Maris's voice, light and happy. I told him I needed the truck for a girls' weekend with Kelly. He didn't even question it. Didn't ask a single follow-up. They both laughed. My hands went numb. Where's Daphne think you are? Medical equipment conference in Denver. I even printed a fake itinerary and left it on the kitchen counter. You're terrible, says the woman who borrowed her fiancé's truck to drive me to a romantic cabin. More laughter. I had to set the laptop down before I broke it. I walked to the kitchen, got water, spilled half of it, had to grip the counter to keep steady. 3 months engaged, 3 months of planning a wedding, 3 months of her wearing my ring while planning a future with someone else. I forced myself back to the laptop. Pressed play. Maris pulled out of the garage. GPS tracking showed them heading north. Actually, toward the mountains now. For the next 70 minutes, the footage was just them talking, laughing, his hand on her thigh while she drove, her singing along to songs I'd heard 1,000 times. Songs that would make me sick now. The audio quality was flawless. Every word clear. When are you going to tell him? I don't know. It's complicated with the engagement. It's not that complicated. You end the engagement, we figure out the rest. You're still married, Eamon. You've got a whole wife at home who thinks you're at a conference. For now, once this grant comes through and I get the associate professor position, I'll have the financial stability to make changes. Daphne can keep the house and practice. I just need the tenure track position first. And how long will that take? 8 months, maybe less. They're making final decisions in July. My department chair already told me it's practically guaranteed. You've been saying that for 5 months. I know, but this time it's real. I promise. Once I've got tenure track, I'll have the salary security. Then I can leave clean. Set Daphne up properly. Do this the right way. A pause. Then Maris's voice quieter. And what about us? What about me? Once everything's settled, we can be together openly. No more hotel rooms. No more sneaking. Real life together. Maybe even that condo you've been talking about. Silence for a moment. You could tell she wasn't buying it completely. Then Eamon changed the subject. Started talking about the cabin. How he'd rented it under a friend's name. How the owner required cash so there'd be no credit card trail. How they'd have the whole weekend without interruptions. How he'd even left his location services off so Daphne couldn't track him. This guy had planned everything. Fake itinerary. Cash payment. Burner-level operational security. The footage cut off when they stopped for lunch. No Wi-Fi signal. I sat there staring at a frozen frame of my fiancée and her married colleague laughing together in my truck. I didn't call her. Didn't text. Didn't blow everything up immediately. Instead, I opened a browser and searched Eamon's name in Westbrook University. His faculty page popped up. Senior Research Fellow, Department of Astronomy. PhD from a state university. 6 years with Westbrook. Published research on stellar evolution. Professional headshot-looking confident. Married to Daphne according to his bio. Lives in Riverside. I found Daphne's Instagram. Public account. Owner of Riverside Animal Clinic. Her bio was genuine and warm. Living my dream, helping animals every day. Grateful for my incredible husband, who believed in this vision from day one. 8 years together, countless adventures, infinite gratitude. Her feed was professional photos of surgeries, adopted animals, clinic updates, personal photos too. Her and Eamon at their Victorian, their lab courage, their backyard garden. A post from 6 weeks ago celebrating their 8th anniversary. 8 years with my best friend and biggest supporter. Here's to 80 more. Looking at those posts made my chest hurt. This woman had no idea. She was posting gratitude while he was kissing my fiancée in parking garages, while he was planning to leave her once his career position was secure, while he was using her support to build his credentials before trading up. I downloaded the parking garage footage. The kiss at 10:47 a.m. The full conversation from 10:52 to 12:19. Saved everything to a new folder with clear timestamps. Created a document outlining exactly what happened, when, where, what was said. Then I found Daphne's Instagram again. Looked at her latest post one more time. That photo of her and Eamon. That caption about gratitude and partnership. I opened the message option. Started typing. You don't know me, but I think you deserve to see this. I'm engaged to the woman in these videos. She asked to borrow my truck this weekend for what she told me was a girl's trip. My dash cam recorded the truth. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but I'd want to know if I were in your position. These videos are time-stamped and dated. Everything is documented. I attached the clips, the parking garage pickup, the kiss, the full audio conversation. All of it. Daphne deserved the truth. I hit send, but I wasn't done. Not even close. I opened a new email. Found the contact information for Eamon's department chair. Typed out a professional message. I'm writing to report a serious ethics violation involving Eamon and his subordinate researcher Maris. I have video and audio evidence of an ongoing romantic relationship between Eamon and Maris, whom he directly supervises. This constitutes a clear violation of the university's faculty conduct policies regarding relationships with subordinates. The attached footage includes explicit acknowledgement from Eamon that he is Maris's supervisor and that they've been conducting this relationship while concealing it from the university. I believe this warrants immediate investigation. Attached the same footage, sent it. Then I went for another run. 8 miles this time. Didn't think. Just ran until my legs burned. When I got back, my phone had 2 notifications, both Instagram messages from Daphne. Is this real? Please tell me this is some kind of terrible joke. I opened the conversation. She'd sent a second message while I was running. I just watched everything. All of it. The audio. Every word. I've been suspicious for months but kept telling myself I was paranoid. Thank you for sending this. I need to process. But thank you. I replied immediately. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. Nobody deserves this. If you need anything or have questions about the footage, let me know. Her response came fast. Can we talk? Not now. But soon? I feel like I'm losing my mind and you're the only person who understands what this feels like. Of course, whenever you're ready. I set my phone down. Eamon would be home from his fake conference around 6 Sunday evening. His whole fabricated story was about to explode. And Monday morning, his department chair would open that email. Start an investigation. Bring both of them in for questioning. I'd fired the first shot. Now I just had to wait for the fallout. The next dashcam upload came Saturday afternoon. The cabin had Wi-Fi. Footage showed them unloading groceries from my truck bed. Laughing. Eamon's arm around Maris's waist. Her looking up at him the way she used to look at me. Sunday morning footage showed them packing everything back up. One more kiss before getting in the truck. This was perfect. We need to do this more often. We will, once everything's finalized. You keep saying that. I mean it this time. I love you. I love you too. My phone buzzed. Instagram message from Daphne. I confronted him. Showed him the footage. He tried to deny it at first, then admitted everything. Said it was a mistake. That he was confused. That he'd fix it. I told him to pack a bag and get out. He's staying at some motel near campus. My attorney is filing papers tomorrow morning. Good. He doesn't deserve a second chance. I know. It's just hard. 8 years together and he threw it away for someone half his age who works under him. You deserve better than someone who'd do this to you. Thank you. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. You're dealing with your own situation. We're both dealing with the same situation, just from different sides. That's true. When does she get back? Tonight around 8. I'm planning to be here when she arrives. Are you going to confront her? Oh yeah. But first, I'm taking back what's mine. Maris walked in around 7:45 p.m. Sunday evening. I was on the couch where I'd been sitting for the past hour. Laptop closed, TV off, phone face down, just waiting in silence. She walked in dragging her weekend bag, looked tired, hair messy, face sunburned, but not panicked, just tired from a weekend trip. Hey, I'm back. I didn't stand up, just looked at her. I can see that. How was the cabin with Kelly? She froze. Just for a second, her hand on her bag handle. Then her face shifted into something more careful. It was good. Really relaxing. Why? Just asking. Sounds nice. Before you get comfortable, I need something. What? I held out my hand. The ring. What? The engagement ring. I want it back. Her face went pale. Why would you want the ring back? Because I'm ending the engagement. And that ring is mine. I paid for it, so give it back. You're ending the engagement? Why? What happened? Nothing happened. I just realized I don't want to marry you. So the ring comes off. Now. Everything was fine when I left. Everything was fine for you, maybe, not for me. Ring. Now. Can we at least talk about this? There's nothing to talk about. You're not who I thought you were. I don't want to marry someone I don't actually know. So the ring comes off, or I take it off. Her hands shook as she twisted the ring. It came off slowly. She held it out like she was handing over something precious. I took it, dropped it in my pocket. Thanks. Now we can talk. About what? About where you actually were this weekend. About who you were with. About what you were doing in my truck. The color drained from her face completely. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. Eamon, senior research fellow, your direct supervisor. The married man you've been sleeping with for 9 months. The one you picked up at the Riverside Hotel Friday morning. The one you drove to a cabin for a romantic weekend. Ring any bells? Dead silence. How did you... Dash cam. Front, rear, and interior. Audio recording, GPS tracking. I watched you pick him up at 10:47 Friday morning. Listened to your whole conversation about how I didn't question your story. Heard him talk about leaving his wife once he gets tenure. Heard you both laugh about how stupid we are. She just stood there. Couldn't move, couldn't speak. And before you ask, yes, I sent everything to his wife. She kicked him out yesterday. And yes, I sent everything to his department chair. They'll be investigating him for ethics violations tomorrow. Probably fire him. Definitely revoke his tenure consideration. You did what? I documented everything and sent it to everyone who needed to know. His wife deserved the truth. His employer deserved to know he's violating university policies. And I deserve to know who I was actually engaged to. You've destroyed everything. His career. His marriage. Our future. Your future? What future? He was going to leave her. He was never going to leave her. Guys like Eamon don't leave. They just keep promising until their side piece gets tired of waiting. You were never his future. You were his entertainment. Her phone started buzzing. Eamon's name on the screen. She didn't answer. You need to fix this. Tell his department chair you lied. Tell his wife you made it up. Something. I'm not fixing anything. You both made your choices. Now you deal with the consequences. This is vindictive and cruel. This is justice. You lied to me for 9 months. Used my property to conduct an affair. Made me look like an idiot. And now you're facing the results. Actions have consequences. I loved you. We could have worked through this. You loved me so much you spent 9 months in hotels with a married man. Very convincing. Her phone kept buzzing. Text after text. She looked at the screen and her face fell apart. He's saying I ruined his life. That his wife sent everything to the university. That he might lose his position. That he's breaking up with me. Not my problem. Not yours either anymore. You're done with him. Done with that job. Done with this apartment. You've got 1 week to get your stuff out. You're kicking me out? Your name isn't on the lease. You're a guest who overstayed her welcome. Where am I supposed to go? Figure it out. You're an adult. Act like one. She grabbed her bag, stood there for a minute like she wanted to say something else, then just left. The door slammed. I sat there in the silence, pulled out my phone, messaged Daphne. Done. Took the ring back. Told her to get out. She knows everything now. Her reply came fast. How did she react? Denial at first. Then panic when she realized Eamon was losing everything. Tried to blame me for being vindictive. I kicked her out anyway. Good. She doesn't get to play victim here. Exactly what I thought. Eamon called me 17 times today. Left voicemails begging me to reconsider. Saying he made a mistake. That he loves me. That he'll do anything. Already blocked him. Changed the locks too. My attorney says the video evidence makes everything straightforward. No fault divorce with clear proof of adultery. I get the house, half his retirement, spousal support for 2 years. Monday morning brought chaos. First came an email from the department chair at Westbrook. Thank you for bringing this matter to our attention. We take all ethics violations seriously and will conduct a thorough investigation. Monica texted around 9. She worked in Maris's department. Holy smokes. Eamon and Maris both got called into HR this morning. Building security escorted Eamon out an hour ago. He's on administrative leave pending investigation. I didn't respond. Just watched it unfold. At 10:42, Maris's mother called. I let it go to voicemail. Something about one mistake and discussing this like adults. One mistake. 9 months of hotels was one mistake. I deleted the voicemail. Around noon, Monica sent another update. Eamon got fired. Official termination. Maris resigned before they could finish investigating. Both their careers destroyed in less than 4 hours. Instagram message from Daphne. Did you see? Eamon's LinkedIn shows he's no longer with Westbrook. I saw. Fast work by the university. Want to meet for coffee sometime this week? Sure. When works for you? Wednesday afternoon? I'm free after 2. Wednesday afternoon, I got to the grind 15 minutes early. Daphne walked in at 2:30 exactly. Tall, maybe 5'8", athletic build. Dark hair pulled back. Professional but tired. You must be the guy with the very useful dash cam. I stood up, shook her hand. That's me. And you must be the woman with the very good attorney. She smiled. First real smile I'd seen from her. Guilty. Thanks for meeting me. We talked for 2 hours. About Eamon's lies. Maris's manipulation. The red flags we'd both ignored. How obvious everything seemed in hindsight. She was smart, direct, no unnecessary drama. Just processing everything logically while protecting herself. I like that. This was really helpful, she said as we walked out. Thank you for meeting me. Anytime. If you need to talk or if anything comes up with the divorce, let me know. We exchanged numbers. Real ones this time, not just Instagram. Coffee again next week? She asked. Yeah, I'd like that. She smiled. Me too. Tuesday morning, I walked out to my truck and stopped. Deep scratches along both sides. The word liar carved into the hood. Driver's side mirror shattered. Paint keyed down to bare metal. Building security footage from 3:24 a.m. showed Maris walking up to my truck with her key, spending 18 minutes systematically destroying it. I took photos, called the police. Officer showed up within an hour, reviewed the security footage. That's pretty clear evidence. You want to press charges? Absolutely. Vandalism over 1,500 is a felony. Could be looking at jail time. Good. File it. I got 4 repair estimates. Cheapest was 3,800. Then I called Maris. She answered on the 4th ring. What? You've got 2 options. Option 1, you pay for the truck repairs. Option 2, I press felony charges and sue you in civil court for damages. I don't know what you're talking about. Security footage shows you approaching my truck at 3:24 this morning. Police already filed the report, so you can either pay for what you did or face criminal charges. Silence. I can't afford that. Not my problem. You fix it or face charges. Your choice. Long pause. Then her voice changed, got softer, desperate even. What if I can make it up to you another way? I'll do whatever you want. Anything. Just don't make me pay that much. I'm barely making rent as it is. Whatever I want? Yeah, anything. I'll apologize publicly to everyone. I'll tell Eamon's wife I'm sorry in person. I'll admit everything was my fault to anyone you want. I'll clean your apartment every week. Do your laundry. Cook all your meals. Whatever you need. Just please don't make me come up with that much money right now. I let the silence stretch out. Let her think she might actually have a chance. So you'll humiliate yourself. Scrub my floors like a maid. Publicly admit you're a cheater. But you won't pay for the damage you caused to my property. I just don't have that kind of money right now. Please, I'm begging you. I'll do anything else. You had money for new clothes last month. Money for going out with Eamon. Money for all those hotels. But now you're broke? That was different. That was before everything fell apart. Before I lost my job. Before my parents cut me off. And whose fault is that? Silence. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You're going to bring me $3,800 in cash by Thursday at 9 a.m. Or I press charges and let the courts handle it. Those are your only 2 options. I told you I don't have it. I just offered you other ways to make it right. I don't want you cleaning my apartment. I don't want your apologies. I don't want anything from you except what you owe me for destroying my truck. Cash or charges. Pick one. You're really not going to give me any other option? You're really going to force this? I'm not forcing anything. You made the choice when you keyed my truck at 3 in the morning. Now you get to deal with it. Cash by Thursday or face felony charges. That's it. Another long silence. I could hear her breathing. Could practically hear her brain working through her limited options. Fine. I'll get the money. Thursday, 9 a.m. My building lobby, don't be late. I hung up. Thursday morning, she showed up at 8:50, looking worse than I'd ever seen her. Dark circles under both eyes. Hair unwashed and pulled back. Clothes that didn't match and looked slept in. She held out an envelope without making eye contact. I counted it. $3,800 in cash. Mix of 20s and 50s. Some hundreds. All wrinkled like they'd been folded and unfolded multiple times. Where'd you get it? Sold my laptop, my camera, my designer bag, Borrowed the rest from my sister. She had to take it out of her kid's college fund. Happy now? Not particularly, but we're even on the truck damage. So you're dropping the charges? Nope. The police report still stands. Whether the DA prosecutes is up to them. But I'm not requesting they drop anything. Her head snapped up, eyes wide. You said if I paid, you wouldn't press charges. No, I said you had two options. Pay for repairs or face charges. I never said paying would make the criminal charges disappear. That was your assumption, not my promise. You lied to me. You tricked me. I gave you accurate information about your options. You heard what you wanted to hear. Sound familiar? Kind of like how you heard Eamon was going to leave his wife when he was actually just stringing you along. She stood there shaking, face turning red, hands balling into fists at her sides. You're vindictive and cruel. You know that? This whole thing is vindictive. I'm holding you accountable. Big difference. You committed a crime. You destroyed my property. You pay for the damage and you face the legal consequences. That's how it works. I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope this makes you feel like a big man. I am, actually. Thanks for the money. Your sister's kids will understand someday. She turned and walked away. Didn't look back. Just got in her car and drove off. I deposited the cash that afternoon. Used it to pay for the repairs in full. Had it looking better than new within a week. The DA prosecuted Maris for the vandalism, felony, criminal mischief. She couldn't afford a real attorney. Got stuck with an overworked public defender who pushed hard for her to take a plea deal rather than risk trial. 1 year probation, 500 hours community service, full restitution for all damages which she'd already paid, felony conviction on her permanent record. I showed up to the sentencing, sat in the back of the gallery, watched her stand before the judge while he explained every single consequence she'd be facing. The restrictions on her freedom, the community service hours, the permanent mark on her record that would follow her forever. She saw me sitting there. Her face went completely pale, but she didn't say anything, just stood there and took it. Afterward, she cornered me in the courthouse hallway. Probably not the smartest move given the circumstances. Are you happy now? I have a felony record. Can't get a decent job anywhere. Can barely afford rent sharing a studio apartment with 2 other people. Is this what you wanted? I wanted you to face consequences for your actions. Mission accomplished. You've destroyed my entire life over one mistake. One stupid mistake. You destroyed your own life when you decided to cheat with your married boss for 9 months. Then you destroyed my truck in the middle of the night. I just documented everything and let the system do its job. The system. Right. You manipulated the system. You manipulated me. I gave you choices. You made your decisions. Now you're living with them. That's called being an adult. She walked away without another word. I didn't see her again for several months. Over those next few months, Maris's life continued falling apart in predictable ways. Monica sent updates occasionally. Maris was working retail at the mall, barely making minimum wage, sharing a tiny studio with 2 roommates to split the rent 3 ways. Her parents had completely cut her off after finding the court records online. Neither of them would return her calls. Eamon's situation was somehow even worse. Fired from Westbrook with an ethics violation permanently on his academic record. Lost his shot at tenure track at any university forever. Working rotating warehouse shifts to make ends meet while fighting Daphne's divorce demands. His entire academic career destroyed at 33. Daphne's divorce finalized in October. Clean sweep. She got the house outright. Eamon's entire retirement account. 2 full years of spousal support. He walked away with his clothes, his car, and 30 days to clear out completely. We celebrated at the same Italian place where we'd had our first real date a few months back. How does it feel? I asked. Liberating. My practice is thriving. I'm actually happy. You got free from someone holding you back. Exactly. She paused. So are we actually dating or still in strategic alliance mode? What do you want? To date you. Officially. Works for me. She smiled. Good. I really like you. We left the restaurant, went back to my place. She kissed me. We were sitting on my couch 6 weeks later when my doorbell rang. I checked the security camera. Oh no. What? Maris, at my door. I looked at the screen. Maris standing there. Hair done, makeup on, wearing a dress I recognized. Want me to answer it? Daphne asked. No, I will. I opened the door. Maris's face went from hopeful to shocked. What's she doing here? She lives here. What do you need? Daphne's living with you? Yeah, what did you need? Her expression shifted. I came to talk. About us. I've been thinking about everything. I made mistakes, but we can fix this. We had something real. We had nothing. You destroyed it. I was confused. Eamon manipulated me. I see that now. But you and I, we built something together. 2 years of memories. The hikes, the breakfasts, the wedding we planned. That meant something. Daphne appeared beside me. He's moved on. Maris's eyes locked on Daphne, face hardening. Of course you're here. The perfect victim. Standing there in his apartment like you belong. I do belong here. You stole my life, my relationship. You swooped in the second everything fell apart and played the sympathy card. Poor Daphne. Cheated on by her husband. Let me console myself with her ex-fiancé. Daphne stepped forward. I didn't steal anything. You threw him away for a married man who was using you. Shut up. This doesn't concern you. It concerns me when you show up where I live. Maris's voice went sharp. Where you live? This was supposed to be my place. We talked about moving in together, getting married, building a future. And now you're playing house with him like I never existed? You made your choices, I said. And you made yours fast. How long did you wait? A week? 2? Before you started dating his wife? We started dating after both divorces. Months later. Sure. Keep telling yourself that. You probably bonded over hating us. Sat around talking about what awful people Eamon and I are. Made yourself feel superior while planning your revenge relationship. Daphne crossed her arms. This isn't a revenge relationship. We actually like each other. Something you wouldn't understand since you only cared about what Eamon could do for you. You don't know anything about what Eamon and I had. I know he's working night shifts at a warehouse and living in his brother's basement. I know he destroyed his entire career for someone he dropped the second things got complicated. Real love story there. Maris's face went red. At least I took a risk. At least Eamon made me feel alive. Not boring and safe and predictable like this. She gestured at me. You're settling, both of you. Settling for each other because you're too scared to actually feel something real. We're not settling, Daphne said. We're happy. Happy? You're both pathetic. Sitting here in your little bubble pretending you won something. You didn't win. You're just two losers who got cheated on. And you're the woman who destroyed her career for a married man who used you, I said. Working retail with a felony record while we're building actual lives. Yeah, you really came out ahead. She glared at us. You two deserve each other. Standing there judging me when you're just as broken as I am. At least I had the guts to go after what I wanted. She turned to leave. Took 3 angry steps toward the stairs. Her foot caught hard on the edge of the top step. She pitched forward violently. Tried to catch herself, but the momentum was too much. Arms flailing as she went down. She landed wrong. Really wrong. Her right arm bent completely underneath her body, at an angle arms shouldn't bend. The crack was clearly audible even from the doorway. She screamed, clutching her arm. I looked at Daphne. She looked at me. Should I call the paramedics? Daphne asked. Or the cops? She's trespassing on my property. Could call someone. Sounds like she needs help. Maris screamed louder. Her arm bent wrong, face twisted in pain. You're both psychopaths, she managed. Call someone, please. Daphne pulled out her phone. Slowly. Ambulance, but only because courage would be disappointed. She glanced at me. My dog has higher moral standards. Good dog. The ambulance arrived 12 minutes later. Paramedics loaded Maris onto a stretcher. One looked at us standing there. You two are very calm. Shock, Daphne said smoothly. Manifests differently for everyone. Right. Shock, sure. They loaded Maris into the ambulance and drove away. Lights flashing. I closed the door. Looked at Daphne. Most satisfying thing I've ever witnessed. Right? Karma has great timing. Should we feel bad? Probably, but I don't. Me neither. We went back to my couch. Put on another documentary. My phone buzzed around midnight. Unknown number. My arm is broken in 3 places. I need surgery tomorrow. I don't have insurance anymore. I really need help. I showed Daphne. You going to respond? Nope. Good answer. I blocked the number. Turned off my phone. Daphne curled up next to me. Courage jumped up between us. This is a good life, she said. Yeah, it really is. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.